Good afternoon. I want to talk to you today about claim costs and what to do when somebody gets hurt. We've had a great week. We've talked about what Integrity HR can do for you. We talked about the OSHA top 10 citations and standards, something you really want to pay attention to. But we also want to know, what do we do if somebody gets hurt? What does it really cost me? So that's what today's presentation is going to be about. I wanted to show you this cute little iceberg, which, is just a representation of what you see as direct costs and what are indirect costs. We all know that direct costs are the cost of that claim, right? What's the medical? Were there legal fees? Do we have to pay the employee to be off of work because of this injury? What are some of the indirect costs that you really have to take note of? Lost time by a supervisor. If you've got a great employee out, very productive employee out, who is going to do his or her work for them? Well, generally the supervisor is. So then who's doing the supervisor's work? It's a never-ending circle. When somebody gets hurt, you've got your crew now. All of a sudden, you're down a person. You might have to train somebody to come in. That's going to take time. That's going to cost money. Was there any equipment damaged at the time? Did it have to be taken out of service? Not only because it was broken, but maybe it got blood, or we're looking for a body part. Sorry to be a little descriptive there, but you just never know what it's going to take to shut that piece of equipment down. But what it is going to do is slow down your process, slow down your productivity. These are the indirect costs. What about your production? Now all of a sudden you can't meet your client's needs. Okay. There's other costs too. The human tragedy. Think about your employee. I mean, sure, we've got to pay the medical costs. We've got to take care of his pay for the time that he's out. But what about him or her outside of work? That's the human tragedy of this sometimes gets overlooked because we're so busy trying to run a business. But what about that employee that's given you, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years, maybe it's his second or third day on the job? Either way, that employee, all of a sudden, maybe he has a second job, maybe she has a second job or a third job. They can't go to it. So it really has an effect on morale around the company, maybe in his crew. What happened to Pete? Then all of a sudden, from a reputation standpoint, think about everybody that's talking about Pete getting hurt at work, at whatever client, and then the word gets out, and then there's a reputation. So there's so many variables to getting hurt on the job. But what's the best thing to do? Work safe. Safety first. Be proactive. Look at prevention measures. All right, let's move on. Dollars and cents, guys. The cost of workplace accidents. In 2018, the data shows that $170.8 billion were spent on workplace accident. Productivity losses, medical expenses, administrative expenses. I don't know about you guys, but $170.8 billion with a B dollars is a lot of money. A lot of money, a lot of time that was wasted because either we had an unsafe work condition or an unsafe work act was occurred, and either one is no good. Either one. And the crazy thing about it is there's probably more money out there that for accidents that occurred and weren't reported properly, weren't taken care of the way they should have legally. So I consider this probably a fraction of the real number. What would Integrity want from you if you had an employee that got hurt? Number one of the things that really separates out a great safety program, a great EHS program, is how you properly investigate, report, and follow up on a claim. Timely reporting is critical, okay? We've got to make sure we're taking care of that employee, make sure we're getting him or her the care that they need, and then that none of the other employees that are out there on that site are in danger, okay? So let's make sure you understand who to call, when to call. I certainly want you to make sure your supervisors know, but integrity needs to know. We're going to help you manage this claim from cradle to grave, and I hate to use that term, but you know, from the beginning of the claim to the end of the claim, we're here for you. All right, call me. My name is Pete Delgado. My number is 830-331-1300. Call me. Let me know what's going on. If it's after hours, you call me at 210-875-0387. The proper investigation of a claim is going to help us uncover whether or not we have where that unsafe hazard or practice occurred. Okay, and by just knowing that, we can start eliminating accidents from future accidents from occurring. The last thing we want is to for somebody to get hurt doing the exact same thing. That's the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity by not changing. So we want to make sure we'll take a bad situation, look at it, flip it around so that we all learn from it. So again, somebody gets hurt. What are we going to do? Let's make sure, number one, that no one else can get hurt by the environment, by the machinery, by the equipment, by the process. Is everyone safe? Then let's go to the assistance of that employee and determine what type of assistance does he need. Does he just need minor first aid? Can we care for him right there on site? Is it going to just be a Band-Aid, or getting him away from a situation, getting him in the shade, getting some water in him? We've got to make that determination. If he or you feel like he needs some medical attention, all right, is he safe to move? Well, let's look at our protocol. All the information that we have on our website and have shared with you in the past tells you that we have clinics across the state. Texas Med Clinic is our preferred vendor in San Antonio and in Austin. We do utilize Nova and Concentra in Houston and Dallas, in San Antonio, and in the Valley, and we have other clinics available in Alice, in different smaller cities around the state of Texas. So just give us a call. What if your employee's unconscious? Maybe he's severely injured. I don't feel safe. You don't feel safe transporting him. Let's get an ambulance out there right away. And again, on this slide, there's my phone number. You call me. If I don't pick up because I might be on another line, maybe I'm doing a webinar, who knows what I'm doing, leave me a message, send me a text. I will contact you right away. So now we've got your employee taken care of. Let's make sure that we've got all the documents in place. Okay. We offer you a disclosure protected health information in English and in Spanish. And that is for that employee to sign off on that, so that when we go to the clinic or to the doctor or the hospital, that they give us some information. It's critical for us to be able to help him or her out, but we can't do that without his or her approval. So we've got the documents out there for you to have them sign. Okay. We want to make sure that they've signed off on the fact that they've got Texas workers' compensation, that they understand the safety rules, policies, and guidelines. We've got maps for your supervisors to get them to Concentra, Nova, Texas Med Clinic. All this information is available to you. We shared it at the end of the month with our series on our website. Our website has all this information, but again, all you have to do is just contact us. We'll get it to you. We want to make sure you have everything you need to make you successful, get your employee taken care of, get them the best care possible. And then we'll initiate that post-accident investigation. There are forms that need to be filled out. We need to know who was involved, were there witnesses, what type of equipment was involved at the time of the accident. We want to get as much detailed description as we can so we can determine the causal factors and then conduct corrective actions and retrain. Maybe retrain the employee that was injured, retrain the employees that are around him so it doesn't happen again. So how about return to work? I know that this might be a tough one for some of you guys, but implementing a return to work program for injured employees shows that you have some empathy, care, and concern. It shows employees that you value their well-being. You want them back on the job as soon as possible. It's going to help them retain a full earning capacity. If they go out on workers' compensation, their indemnity check is only going to be 70% of what they earned. So let's get them back, show them, I know you can't do your regular job, but let's find something for you to do that matches the restrictions that were given to you by the doctor and get you a full check. They maintain a productive mindset. They want me back, staying on a regular work schedule. It's easy. It's real easy to get lax, get a little lazy, even if you're hurt. And then getting them back to work is even going to be tougher because some folks, believe it or not, they enjoy lying on the sofa and watching TV and getting paid, even at 70%. So let's get them back. It gives them a sense of security as well as stability. And how does it affect you guys? Well, it really, you still get some productivity from them. It reduces that work comp claim, which is going to keep your premium from increasing. It helps you to manage the claim. You'll be able to see whether your employee, if they're improving or not. And it gets your experienced employees back to work. You can utilize their experience, maybe not 100%, but you cannot, it's hard to replace an experienced, long-term, great employee that just had an unfortunate incident that happened. We can utilize them somehow, some way on the job. We've got a great series coming up for you next. We want to show you where you can find all those forms, all the safety training, all the toolbox talks, different safety posters. How can you start talking to your employees about healthy living? Where do you find those forms for your first report of incident, accident investigation, authorization for treatment? All of this information is available to you on our My IHRM website. That website is just for you and only for you. And we look forward to being your partner, your family member, when it comes to safety, risk, post-accident, anything that might happen for your employees. They are part of our family. We want to be there for them. So thank you again for your time. Have an amazing afternoon.